Alright, good morning, people of YouTube. So, we are back again today with the updates for Pure Agubond with the EX collection cards. We'll be getting those in North America soon. I know they've been delayed again, but they will be legal for Nats, so I guess just stay patient, everybody. But luckily, this deck is a deck that doesn't really need too many cards from EX collection, but it does get a huge improvement with this set, with the few cards that it does get. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get right into it. As always, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you guys want to see more content like this, and thanks for helping me get to 700 subs. It's a good milestone. At 1,000, we're doing a big giveaway, so thank you for the support so far, and let's keep it going, guys. With the eggs, we got 4 copies of Demimera and 1 copy of Koro. Demimera is your overall best egg. It's just going to give you more value whenever you swing in, and Koro will let you draw cards sometimes, so that's always fun. You have a lot of targets to hit with Koro now, so I think Koro is the correct 5th egg. So we're going to go from the top down, because it is a bond deck, so it lets you make sense of the aggression that we play first. So we got 4 copies of the big Bond of Bravery himself, because it is a bond deck. And then the other card that we're going to be swinging in a lot of the times with is the new Skullgreymon from the EX collection. So if you don't know what this does, this has security attack +1. At the end of attack, it dies, and on deletion, you get to play an Agumon from your trash without paying its memory cost, and you do get its on-play skill. So we do have a couple Agumons with on-play skills that we can combo that with, and this combos with the Analog Youth, and you're swinging in, you're getting 2 securities off of this, and then you put an Agumon in play that your opponent then has to deal with. So I really like this card, and you want to be putting as much aggression on your opponent as possible, because this is just, a Rookie Rush style aggro deck. So yeah, having this put on a bunch of pressure, having this put on a bunch of pressure, and then having the Greymon that has security attack +1 to put on a bunch of pressure, you have so much extra security attack, and all of it's like low to the ground too, because you don't have to make a big level 6 stack in order to swing in for extra damage. You just can build this Greymon or this Skullgreymon, start swinging in, play more Agumons off of this, and we'll go into a combo with the Analog Boy at the end of the video. But I really, really do like the Skullgreymon for what it does for this list. For the level 4s, we got this Greymon that provides aggression. We got 4 Aguni, because Aguni closes out games. And we have 4 copies of the starter deck Geo Greymon. This card gives you more aggression when it comes out of security, and also you can just follow this up by evolving it into a Skullgreymon on the next turn and then just swinging with it and just getting tremendous value. So really do like Geo Greymon for what it does for this list. But yeah, those are the 12 level 4s that we are playing. For the level 3s, they're all Agumons. We got 4 copies of the Bt6 Agumon that gives you extra security attack with your Bob. We got 4 copies of the Agumon that gives you +2 whenever you swing at security. We got 4 copies of the Tamer Searcher Agumon. This card is really nice in combination with the Skullgreymon, as well as the Promo Agumon, the very first card we got in the game. So if you swing with Skullgreymon, hit check 2 security, Skullgreymon will die. You can bring this card back and then pop a rookie, or you can bring this card back and then search a Tamer. And it's nice, having on-play skills that trigger is always good, and it's something that Purple wishes that it had more of. So really, really do like what these cards do for the deck. And then we got 3 copies of the new Agumon from the EX collection. This card is really nice. If you have something on top of it and you swing, you get to grab a Tamer, you can grab a Bond, or you can just grab any other Agumon in the list. So this card is just a good generic rookie, and yeah, it adds tremendous value to this list. So the last Digimon that we are playing are 2 copies of Magnadramon. So, like I said, this deck is a deck that wants to put on a lot of aggression, but it doesn't have a lot of defense. So sometimes if you are just short, if you slap this down, you will have the necessary resources to close the game on the following turn. Plus, you can, get your big bond swing, and then put Magnadramon out and have security and let your bond live. That's always a cheeky play that you have access to. But yeah, Magnadramon is the one defensive card that we're going to have access to in this list. But we also have, some good cards that trigger out of security, like this Skullgreymon, like Gaia Force and stuff like that. So Magnadramon has some extra value here that where it wouldn't in a typical blue bond deck. So we are done with the Digimon. Let's go on to the Tamers. I got 4 copies of Tai, 2 copies of Marcus, and 1 Analog Youth. In testing, Analog Youth has been really, really good. I want to bump this up to 2. What it does is whenever you play it, you get to reveal the top 3, and you get to take a Digimon, put it in your hand, and put the rest of the cards in the trash. This card is great for consistency, and it sets Agumons in your trash for your Skullgreymon play. This card can help you get Bond if you need it, and it's just great. Grabbing a Digimon off the top 3 is never bad. And then you have an all turns effect where when one of your level 5 or higher Digimon is deleted, as long as it has evolution sources, you can suspend this Tamer, and then you hatch an egg and gain a memory. You don't have to do both. Like, if you already have an egg here, then you can just gain the memory. But it is a really, really great card for pushing advantage. So if you have, like, a bond, if whenever your turn ends, like, let's say you did something and you have this bond and you swung and it's gonna die, and you did something to put your opponent to 1 and you have the Analog Youth out. Well, you can suspend the Analog Youth, gain the memory, and go back to 0 and keep it your turn, and then hatch an egg and set up in the breeding area so that you have a stack to pull out with on your following turn and gain a bunch of memory off your ties. This card also combos really well with the Skullgreymon, because Skullgreymon will delete itself whenever you swing with it. So you can swing with this, and then this will die, you pull back an Agumon, and then you gain a memory, and then you hatch an egg. And it's super nice. Especially if you're swinging with this Agumon with an inheritable. You can kind of just swing with this, grab an Agumon from the top, this'll die, you play an Agumon from your trash, you hatch your egg, and then you play the Agumon that you grabbed from your deck on your egg, and then you have an Agumon in your raising, an Agumon on board, and your ties are all set up and ready to go, and you're just in a good position. So Analog Youth just makes this deck push a lot of advantage. There are a lot of really cool combos you can do with this card, and I really need to find room to put a second one in. So I only own the one right now, but as soon as the set is physically legal in the States, we will try to bump that up. But those are the Tamers, and rounding out the deck, we got the options. We got a single copy of A Delicate Plan to close out matchups against security control. This deck kind of doesn't struggle with security control, in my opinion, just because you have so many cards that push aggression. You can just kind of delete all of their security, and yeah, so you don't really need more than one. So I do like the Delicate Plan. It can help you close that matchup out, but maybe this card isn't as necessary in this list as it would be in some others. So it's here. This is kind of a flex spot. We got a copy of Red Memory Boost. This card will give some consistency to the list. We have 2 copies of Atomic Blaster, and we have 2 copies of Gaia Force for your security options. This card's really nice for just blowing up a bunch of small things on the board. Like, if you have the Skullgreymon and you're swinging, and then you get the Agumon, and then you Atomic Blaster and blow up everything else, you're typically going to make it so that the Agumon will live, and then you can swing with that as well. You can also, if you have the Skullgreymon set up and you don't want to swing and then just get blocked, you can Atomic Blaster. You can set up the Skullgreymon, force them to play the blocker, and then blow it up. So that's always fun. And then Gaia Force just helps in the Bond mirror match against securities. Really good against Agubond. And, you know, seeing it in security is always nice. And if you draw it in your hand, it's not the worst thing in the world. So, yeah, that's the list, everybody. I really like the changes that Red Agubond took on in the EX collection, because I felt like you took this aggressive deck and you just made it even more aggressive. So, it just plays to its strengths a lot better now. It's a lot more consistent. There are a lot more avenues to just put on extra security attack. And, yeah, it's just, it's a good deck, guys. Try it out. See if you like it. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.